Before we start today's video, Mabel wanted to wish you all a happy weekend. And thanks for watching.
Hi.
Hey guys, fun video today. I asked you guys on Twitter, what are you main lore questions? What are your main lore questions about Secret of the Mimic? So that is literally today's video. We're going to read some of your guys' tweets and we're just going to discuss Secret of the Mimic because it's fun.
Right.
So these are in no particular order. We're just going to go crazy, go stupid. Before I start today's video, I do recommend you guys watch my video from last week where I talk a bit more in detail about the Mimic and William and Henry and how I think the story is going to play out in Secret of the Mimic. Of course, this is all just theorization. So, you know, it's not official, but, you know, I feel like we're on the right track, I think. Also, a PSA, I'm going to call it out right now. In last week's video, I talked about how Henry could be the main protagonist in Secret of the Mimic, and he takes the Mimic and he stores the Mimic down in Fredbear's family diner, and that's where we find him in ruin. I completely forgot, and I apologise, that doesn't happen in the book lore. In the book lore, the Mimic actually gets sealed in the pizza place during security breach, during, you know, when they find the pizza place location and stuff, like years and years later. So yeah, that's a quick PSA, guys. So the Mimic does not get sealed during 1979 or whatever in the book lore. Remember that, okay? But in the book lore, he appears years and years later. Fazbear Entertainment bring him there, and he kills all the employees there and stuff, and then he eventually gets sealed down there. Also, I mentioned Edwin Murray coming back for Security Breach 2. Some people didn't watch the end of that video. I just want to say, I know Edwin dies in the book lore as well. I don't like how he dies, and I don't really like the story. But basically, there's this big storyteller tree thing. And Edwin comes back to the location as a Fazbear employee, like a director or something, during Security Breach. And he gets stuck in the tree and he dies. Yeah. I said during that I don't like how Edwin died, if I'm being honest. And I hope they change that in the game lore, where they bring Edwin back and they scrap him dying. Because I feel like it would be a great finale and some great closure for Edwin and everybody involved of... you know, Edwin teaming up with Gregory and Vanessa, like the Avengers, and Cassie, killing the Mimic, and then that's it. That's the end. But we'll see. And if Edwin does die in the tree, in the game lore, I hope they show his body or something in Security Breach 2 with like an audio log file or something to show that it's Edwin. Something like that. Or maybe just an Easter egg of his corpse there somewhere. I don't know. I just hope we see something of Edwin in Security Breach 2. By the way, it's not officially called Security Breach 2. I'm just calling it Security Breach 2 for now. The sequel after Ruin with Cassie and the Mimic and Gregory and Vanessa, okay? So, after all of that garble, let's read some of your tweets. And like I said, this is all completely random, and I'm answering this with theories and discussion. It's a discussion video. I don't work for Steelwall. I know nothing. I'm not the Mimic. Right, Toast. If this is pre-Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and Edwin was hired to turn mascot costumes into metal exoskeletons by Fazbear Entertainment, did he build the original Freddy's cast? Or not Henry? Or at least was he originally contracted to before Henry was? So basically, Right Toast is saying, did Edwin make the original animatronics for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? Not Henry. I swear I saw a comment on my video because last week's video I talked about this. In my opinion, I don't think so. I think maybe Henry made original concepts or something, and then Edwin helped with it. I don't know. It's a hard one. I guess that might change the lore a little bit if it's confirmed in Secret of the Mimic that Edwin made the original band members for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. This isn't Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, by the way. I do think William and Henry made those themselves without Edwin's help, because I've you know, in last week's video, I talked about how I think After Fredbear's Family Diner, the incredible success of that business, they really wanted to expand the business, so they made Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but they didn't have the, I don't know, like the time or maybe the time or the skills together to make a bunch of animatronics and stuff. So Fazbear Entertainment found Edwin, who's very good at making technology and stuff. They contracted Edwin to make the endoskeletons for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. I think that's what Rytoast is saying. He's only talking about the exoskeletons, the endoskeletons of the mascots at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not the actual designs of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. I definitely think those were designed by Henry and William. I think he's just saying more of the technical stuff. Edwin was more important in that. It looks like for at least Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they got help from Edwin for the technology side of things, which is interesting. Carnival said, how does MXES tie into this? So, from Ruin, we learned that MXES is a security program designed to keep the Mimic hidden and stop anybody from trying to set him free, okay? Because the Mimic's sealed down there and trapped down there. And unfortunately in Ruin, the Mimic tricks Cassie into pretending to be Gregory, and the Mimic is then set free, which is going to lead to Security Breach 2. Now, like I said, MXES is a security program to keep the Mimic hidden, right? In the Help Wanted 2 DLC, we see the van with MXES inside, and it looks old and it looks rusty. In the Help Wanted 2 update, we see the van, which looks very similar to the Fazbear Entertainment van from the trailer, with the machine at the back of the van. So we don't really know when that scene happens in the timeline yet. Does that take place after Secret of the Mimic? Does that take place before Ruin? Does it take place after Ruin? We don't know. But all you've got to know is for now, MXES was a program, security system to keep the Mimic hidden. Okay? So we still don't know who made it. Are we going to be seeing this software program system in Secret of the Mimic? We'll have to wait and see. I think we will. Maybe. I think we will. I think we'll see this MXES system in the factory somewhere. Who knows though? I don't know. But I'm sure we'll find out more. I'm sure we will. Lodgy Bob. Where is Edwin during his period of being missing in action? Could he have been hiding out in the factory somewhere? I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure that it's ever explained. In the books, Edwin just disappears and we don't know where he went. He could have went to Hawaii for a few years. He could have went to Pizza Hut. I don't know. It's never said. What we do know, he does come back years and years later when the Pizzaplex is made and built to, you know, stop what's going on there, and he becomes a director and he gets killed in that tree. But we don't know where he was during that time at all. That's why I hope in the game lore that we see him in Security Breach 2. Even if he's dead, we get like audio logs or files to show what he's been up to during Secret of the Mimic when he disappears to him coming back to try and stop what's going on. We'll see. We have no idea where he went. And it's interesting really because Edwin was alive during the period of William Afton killing kids and the Bite of 83 and the Bite of 87. He was alive during all of that. Can you imagine just Edwin chilling somewhere? Maybe he moved on with a new home and stuff, and he's at home and he sees a newspaper about the trouble at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and stuff. I feel like that would be very interesting. Dev Springs, is the tiger plushie possessed by David or something, or why is it moving in the trailer? Okay, I've seen some people pick this up. That, to me, is not a plushie. So, I know in Help Wanted 2, it's a little plushie. I'm going to be real, guys. I think they just used the mascot model and shrunk it down to a plushie for that update. In the trailer, it looks like the Tiger Rock mask is a mascot costume. It's not a plushie. There's a shot at one point where you see like a human arm next to it. So, yeah, I don't think it is a plushie. We might see a plushie version of him somewhere, but I do think even then we'll see him in a mascot suit, the mimic wearing it. Hello, Lytton. What is the secret? We kind of theorized about this last episode. I think the secret is the whole location and the mimic itself. I think Steel will have used that title very, very cleverly. The secret of the mimic is the mimic. That's it. And the secret is that Fazbear Entertainment shoved it all under a rug and pretended none of it happened, but also stole some of Edwin's ideas of Music Man and Helpy, etc. for their future gain at future locations and stuff. And I think that was William Afton more than Henry. William Afton stealing his ideas and stuff, because I feel like that's what William Afton would do. Steal ideas from people for his own gain, for the business. So yeah, I do think the secret of the mimic is the mimic and Edwin and the factory and that story is the secret. Brother, who we play as? I think and I hope that it's going to be somebody important. I feel like when I did a video with John Fnaf, he mentioned that he talked about thinking that the protagonist is going to be Henry. I like that. I feel like that would be really cool. An early younger Henry, just before Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was made, and him and William are building this new company, and this happens, and the mimic kills people, and I feel like that would be a great start with Henry and William and the origins and creating friction between them of what happened there. Yeah, I feel like Henry would be a great choice. I hope it's Henry. If it isn't Henry, I feel like it's just going to be a Fazbear Entertainment employee who's been hired to go there to stop the mimic. But I feel like if Steel wanted to do an important character, it would be Henry. I don't feel like it would be William. Maybe it could be William Afton. It could be Henry or William, or just a random Fazbear Entertainment employee who's been hired to go there to stop the mimic. That's it, I think. Paperwork man. Where is David's ball? I don't know. Imagine, guys, during Secret of the Mimic, we actually see David's ball down there or something. Like, again, we mentioned this in the video, but in the actual book lore of Edwin, Murray, and David, again, please watch my video. I talk about the lore of Edwin and David if you don't know anything about it, because you'll need to know that before the game, or just go in spoiler free, and hopefully Steel will explain what happened there with Edwin and David. But basically, when Edwin was there working on the animatronics and making the mimic, Edwin and David lived at the factory. So I really hope we get to see where they lived at the factory. It would be some great story and lore of where they used to chill and sleep and live. And imagine seeing David's ball in there. That'd be crazy. Bowser, what do you think the purpose of the prototype Music Man was at the end of the trailer? Again, we talked about this last week. I feel like Steel will have done a prototype Music Man to show that Edwin was the original creator of Music Man. And the reason why we see Music Man later on in the future games, like Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF 6, is because Fazbear Entertainment stole his ideas after he went missing. So, yes, we do stop the mimic in Secret of the Mimic, but we also steal Edwin's ideas of Music Man and Helpy for Fazbear Entertainment's own gain in the future, and that's why we see Music Man and stuff in the future, because they were stolen ideas, stolen concepts from Edwin. So maybe we'll see other prototypes. Maybe we'll see a prototype of Sun and Moon or something, as well as Music Man or other animatronics that we see. Like the Mediocre Melodies is another big one. Maybe Edwin was the original creator of those and Fazbear Entertainment stole those ideas. GG Games, Buff Helpy Origin. We don't talk about that. Also, guys, I see you all. I asked you your best lore questions, and you've all said, where is David's ball? Who made the mimic? Was it difficult to put the pieces together? Nintega said, why wasn't the mimic destroyed? Was it safe for spare parts, or did whoever built it want to try and refurbish it? So it is actually spoke about in the book lore that the Mimic was rebuilt later on during the security breach era, and the Mimic was rebuilt to help them move things around in the pizza place location. They basically rebuilt him and reprogrammed him because it's a robot, it's strong, and they tried to reprogram and rebuild it to help the workers carry load and stuff at the pizza place underneath security breach, the pizzaplex. But unfortunately, something went wrong with that, and the Mimic started killing everybody during that, killed all the workers and stuff when he was rebuilt. That's why the Mimic looks different from Secret of the Mimic to Ruin. Jaffinator asked, does it actually take place in 1979? We don't know. So obviously from the trailer, we got the clip that showed 1979. Is that the date of the origins of when the Mimic was built? Or the origins of the date of Fredbear's Family Diner? We don't know. We don't know if this is the date when we go into the factory to stop the Mimic. We don't know yet. Obviously, when we play Secret of the Mimic, we'll see. There'll probably be calendars around with 1979 or something like that. Gives us the full confirmation that this game takes place in 1979. But for now, we don't know yet. We've only seen that date from a trailer. Most likely, it means that the game is in 1979, but it's not 1,000,000% confirmed yet. The date could mean something else, so we'll have to wait and see. Delos asked, are the novels in the timeline of the games or separate timelines with similarities? We don't know yet. We don't know. And that's what I was talking about last week. Are Steelwall using the complete accurate story of the Mimic and putting it into the game timeline? We don't know yet. Or are they using ideas from Tales of the Pizzaplex and about the Mimic and about Edwin, and are they using their favourite ideas or favourite stories from that to put into Secret of the Mimic? We don't know yet. Again, the only way we're going to find out is when the game comes out. Rain Cos asked, who is the Mimic possessed by? So the Mimic is not possessed. The Mimic is not possessed by anybody. The Mimic is its own thing. It's not possessed by anybody, okay? The reason why the Mimic is so angry and evil is because Edwin tried to destroy him, and the Mimic mimics what he sees people doing. That's his AI programming. And obviously, if you're the Mimic and you learn people's actions, and the last thing you see is Edwin trying to kill you with rage and anger and guilt and agony, you're going to learn that from the programming. And that's why the Mimic is so hateful to everything after that. Again, if you want to learn more about that, watch my video from last week. The thing is, guys, if you have not read Tales of the Pizzaplex or you've looked up videos about it, you are not going to know what the heck is going on until the game comes out. And like I said, I really hope Steelwall need to explain what's going on. They can't just expect people to have read the books to know what's going on. Like, they really need to show, because I think this is the most, for all the FNAF games and the FNAF lore and stuff, I feel like this game is where most people are confused and they don't know what's going on. Because the only way you'd know is if you've read the books, and not everybody wants to read the books or is not interested in that. So Steel will need to show what happens in the game. They really do, or people are not going to know what the heck is going on. So I hope they do, and it would be so easy to. So if not, I'll be disappointed, because you can just show what's happened, more lore and backstory about Edwin, David, and the Mimic with just files, audio logs, letters, notes on computers and stuff like that. It's so easy. So I really hope they don't screw that up. Flipside said, my main question is there going to be a carnival? Genuinely curious, because if so, it would be terrifying. So yeah, a big thing that Steel will have been teasing a lot since Help Wanted 1 is Fallfest. Now, we know Fallfest has been going on for years, and we haven't really seen much about it. We saw a bit more from Help Wanted 2 and the Curse of Dreadbear and stuff. So maybe we'll see Fallfest in Secret of the Mimic, as in like maybe some posters or some more lore about it, like who started Fallfest and how did it happen in the first place. I feel like we're going to see items and objects for Fallfest there. I feel like Edwin helped with that a little bit. But I don't know if we'll see an actual carnival outside. We might see props and stuff, though, at the factory. We'll see. Cherry Xbox, how will this connect with the end of Ruin? Again, I talked about this last week. I think Steelwall have played this great because they made the Ruin DLC. They show the Mimic at the end, and they end it off with a cliffhanger, right? The Mimic and Cassie fall down the elevator because Gregory doesn't want the Mimic getting out to the world, right? And then we've got a prequel about the origins about the Mimic and Edwin and all this juicy lore about the Mimic's original story. And Steel will have done that because they're going to be doing a Security Breach 2. I would bet my life that they're going to be doing a game after Ruin. Again, like I said, I'm calling it Security Breach 2 for now, but it's so obvious that they've made Secret of the Mimic, they've made a prequel, the Mimic's origins, and then the next game is going to be a Security Breach 2, where I know I keep repeating myself, where Cassie, Gregory and Vanessa stop the Mimic, and then the Mimic gets killed at the end. Maybe we'll see Edwin. We'll see, but if they want to change the story a little bit. But I feel like that's what's going to happen, guys. What would be really cool is that we play as 2 characters in Security Breach 2. It would be really cool if during the game we play as Cassie deep underground trying to escape the Mimic and trying to get out and try to escape, and then we switch to Gregory or Vanessa above the surface around the Pizzaplex during like the ruined Pizzaplex, and the animatronics are still trying to kill Gregory and stuff. That would be really cool, and I hope we get to see that, like 2 different sides of things, two perspectives. And then obviously at the end they meet up and they kill the Mimic. So we'll see. DKTR, why does Murray's costume manor exist when in the books he just made robotics, he had his own factory, right? So yeah, Murray's costume manor does not exist in the books, which makes me think that Steelwall are picking parts of Tales of the Pizzaplex and using it for the game lore, right? Because Murray's costume manor did not exist. It was just a factory. So, or maybe they just wanted to expand on it and call the factory that and just have their own ideas with the original Pizzaplex story. I don't know, but that is a good thing to pick up on, that Steelwall are putting new things into this. So are they just picking parts from the book lore into the game lore? We'll see. Editor Pine, can the Mimic make it clap? Some things you don't type and click send. And that is one of them. So I think that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for your tweets to that tweet. I really do appreciate it. And I just love discussing things. I love it. I just having like an open discussion about what we think Secret of the Mimic's going to be about. And it's really exciting. I can't wait. And like I said, I have seen a lot of people not really know what's going on in Secret of the Mimic. Like, they have no idea because they haven't read the books and or a plot summary about what happens. So I really do hope Steelwall, and I'm sure they will, give an explanation of what happened there with Edwin and the Mimic and David, and not just expect people to have read the Pizzaplex books, because I'd say about 85%, 80% of people have not read the books. So yeah. I really do hope Steel will do that, and I'm sure they will, because it's so easy to just put some logs or audio logs or whatever to explain what's going on, you know? And if this game's about the Mimic lore, about what happened there, and, you know, in the trailer they talk about Edwin's disappearance, I'm very, very confident they're going to explain why Edwin disappeared. Of course they will. I hope so, because we need the lore. We need the lore. And, you know, it's to build up the next game with killing the Mimic and stuff. So I'm sure they will. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Any other questions, any discussions, put them in the comment section. I am very excited to see more stuff about Secret of the Mimic. I hope we get some more stuff soon. I can't wait. Take care. Lots of love. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all next time.